We are now going to make a few changes to our category area. You will see that we have some borders and lines still inside our category areas. We're going to take these lines away before we do some design changes. So now we're going to click on Area Design, and we're going to take off this border line. So let's take this down to 0. Now we are going to go into heading. We're going to scroll down and we're going to take away the borders from the heading area. And then save changes. We are now going to change our category backgrounds. Click on Box Design. Move the editor to the top of the page. Click on Background and then click on Colours and Gradients. Let's change the top colour to a green. Now we're going to use the bottom colour and we're going to change this to a darker green. Let's go back to the top colour and just lighten up the green so we have a nice contrast. Now let's save changes. So now we have a nice green coloured gradient behind our category images. Now we're going to change the text. Click on Box Design. Click on Text. Then move to the colour palette and change to white. You can change the font sizes if you wish, and also make them bold. We can also make our text change colour when we hover over. And you can scroll down and see the changes when you're hovering over the text. And now we're going to save the changes. So now we have made design changes to our category boxes, but our content area is still blue, so we're going to go and change the colour of this area. Click on Content Design. Now click on Background, and we're going to use our colour palettes to change the colours of the content background. And now we're going to save changes. As you can see, we've made plenty of design changes in this area. We are now going to be concentrating on our footer area, and we will be adding images and text. First of all, we're going to close in this area here. We're going to go back up and click on Content Design. and we're going to scroll down to the bottom of the window. We're now going to lift the area up, and we're going to take outside space bottom down to 0. And now you can see this gap has disappeared. We're going to take inside space bottom all the way down to 0. And as you can see, this area is closed in. And now we're going to save changes. And now we're going to concentrate on the footer area. First of all, we're going to open the area up so we can insert our images. Click on Edit Footer Design. And then click on Settings. Go over to Height and just open the height area up. We may be closing this down later on depending on how the actual area looks when we've finished. And now we're going to save changes. The first thing we're going to add are columns. So we're going to go to Add. Click on Element, and then location will be footer. Now we're going to insert columns, and then we're going to add element. And as you can see, 2 elements have been inputted, and these are just example columns in which you can change the name. You do not need to add any more if this is enough for your website. So we're going to go and edit these columns. Click on Edit, and as you can see, example column and example column. We're going to edit the columns and change the name. The first column we're going to call Delivery. And then we're going to save changes. As you can see, the first column is now Delivery. We're going to edit the second column, and we're going to call this column About, and then we're going to save changes. And now we're going to change the inside links, so we need to click on the link, and there you can see all 4 of the links. We're only using 3, so I'm going to take one of these off. Now we're going to edit link, and we'll just call this one Privacy. And this works on the same principle as your menu, where you add pages within your shop, or external websites. And then you find the page you want to add. But we're not going to put any links on at this stage. We're going to save changes. And the first one has gone in, Privacy. And the next one we're going to change Returns, and international. Now we can go back and we can change the about page, and the first one we can call blogs, and save changes. The next one we can call About Us, and we can save changes. And the last one we can call Find Us, and then save changes. And now we can close this window, and we can drag this anywhere we want on the page. Now we have our columns inside our footer area. We're just going to make them transparent for now, so we can continue with finishing off the rest of the area. So we're going to go into Design, and we're going to Background, and we're going to make this transparent. We're then going to go to Text, and we're going to change the text colour to black. We're going to make it bold, and then we're just going to put text size to 16. Now we're going to go into the background of our smaller links and make them transparent. And we're going to go into the text, and we're just going to make those black. In actual fact, we can make the hover colour a blue. And then we're going to save changes. We're going to go back into Area, Main Area, and we're going to move the width slightly. And we could even drop it down. And adjust the height, and then save changes. Now we're going to add a custom content box. Go to Add, go to Element, go to Footer, and select Custom Content, then Add Element. And as you can see, custom content is now on the footer page. Click on Edit, and we're going to take this writing out and put something else. We can make this bold and then save changes. And we can move this anywhere we want. We're now going to add some images to our footer area. Click on Add, Elements, Footer, and then Image. Browse for your image and we'll add a Facebook link. Now to link the page, you have hyperlink. And you would click yes, which would open up the link area for you to insert. We're going to set this to no at the moment. And add elements. And the Facebook icon has now gone onto the page. And again, we can put this anywhere we want. So we'll add another one. Element, footer, image. This time we'll add a Twitter. And the same thing again, if you want to add hyperlinks, you can add them in here. You can add them in here. Add elements. And we can put that next to our Facebook. And we can keep adding images and linking them to anywhere on our page or even external pages. We'll add another one. Image, and this time we'll add some credit cards. Add elements. This time they are fairly big, so we can just resize these. And put them down at the bottom of the page. And we can add a few more images here. So we can keep adding images to fill the footer area. And then click Add Element. And now we can move this to any position we want. So we'll add another one. Element, footer, image, browse, and then add image. Click on Add Element. And we're getting some nice images onto our page. So you can move the images around to suit the page layout. We can drop the Twitter images down to the bottom. Move the banner to the top. and generally get our page perfect. So I've moved these images up because I want to now close my area in, as I want a small area. So I'm going to go to settings in the footer design editor, and I'm going to close the page using the header and the space button. Then I'm going to save changes. And we can still work on our footer area all the time to try and make it as best as we can. We can add another image in if we want to, or we can just generally use what we've got. And that concludes the footer area.